Hello, coming at you from the hospital. I'm waiting for my dad. He's getting some treatment done. Some of you who don't even know me personally, and I haven't even talked about what's going on with my dad, have said that you're praying for my dad. So thank you so much. So nice. Anyone who's watching this, I covet your prayers, truly. I'll definitely talk more about what's going on with my dad at some point, but here we are. Anyway, not sure if this is appropriate, but I'm going to do a Q3 update. It's the only time I can film, so you guys have seen me film at the most random times, and so we're going with it. This thing is so not centered. Okay, whatever. All right, so Q3, what is that? August, September, October? No, it's more like July, August, September. Okay, so Q3 was kind of rough. That's when my motivation tanked the most. I'll review the goals that I had for this year and how I did not meet my goals in Q3. But at the same time, I met a huge goal in Q3, which was getting monetized. So that was super exciting. If you're not familiar, you need 4,000 hours of public watch hours and 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. I already had the 1,000 subscribers, but then I just needed the 4,000 public watch hours, and my divorce video got me there. I wasn't sure how popular my divorce video would be, but I knew that it would help me get to my watch hour goal, but it definitely gave me all the hours that I needed. So that was exciting. Obviously, the original intent of putting up the divorce video was so that I could connect with people and I don't know, just help people who might resonate with the video. And I really wanted to make that video for people who need a video like that because I didn't have a video like that. But it is nice that there was a side benefit of getting monetized because of that video. So if you watched that video and contributed to my monetization journey, thank you, I appreciate you. And now we are entering into a new phase of YouTube stuff because I'm monetized. I'll talk a little bit more about that stuff in a bit because I have a huge tip for people that I didn't know about and it's actually kind of stressing me out. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. My goal starting in January was to post 5 shorts or reels a week and then 1 long form video a week. And I met that goal up until probably July. Well, actually, I took a break in May when I moved, and I remember giving myself a week off in May. But then in July, I think it was like July, August, I just could not get myself to do it. I think all the travels just really put me over the edge with feeling overwhelmed, and I just didn't have time to make videos. The other thing too was I went through a really long rut of not wanting to cook and I don't know, not really liking any of the food that I was eating. And if you follow me on Instagram, my page over there is mostly about food. And so it was hard to film myself cooking or film myself eating something when I didn't really like what I was eating. I just didn't have an appetite. I'm not really sure what that's about. Maybe I was stressed or I don't really know. But that was a big part of it. And then even on YouTube, I just didn't know what to vlog about. I just was not motivated. And so I think there were maybe 6 weeks where I didn't post anything. And finally, I got myself to post something after my Vegas trip with my husband. And then it was my divorce video. So the divorce video was also really nice because it gave me life in kind of revisioning the purpose of my channel. If you go to my shorts on my YouTube channel, it's all about food. But now my long form content is more about my first marriage, my second marriage, relationships, talking to women who are looking for husbands. I don't know, just sharing my experiences, and that has been so much more soul-filling than recording myself eating and stuff like that. I do want to get back to filming videos about food because I do love food, and that's what my video started with. And my channel is called 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐀 because it stands for It's So Good, because that's pretty much what I say every time I eat something that's so good. So the name of the channel doesn't even match what my content is about these days. But anyway, part of what I wanted to do with my divorce video was to connect with people, and it really accomplished that. So many people commented on that video, and I really made it an effort to respond to every single comment. I also met up with a viewer on FaceTime, and that was a really blessing and really lovely conversation. I'm also kind of willing to do that with anyone who wants to because I'm small enough right now. I can do that. I have the capacity to do that. Obviously, if I was bigger or if I get bigger, I won't be able to do that. But right now, I have been genuinely enjoying connecting with viewers even in that way and just having extended conversations with them. So I think that's really cool. And so that just kind of renewed my motivation for making content. Because without that community piece, YouTube is so boring and really unmotivating when you're just putting out content and you're not inspired by it and you're just doing it because you said you would. And I think that's important too because otherwise you're not going to do it. If you watch any videos about growing your YouTube channel, it always talks about consistency, and you can't be consistent without commitment. So it's important that I did that, and that's why I really pushed myself to make that content even when I didn't feel like it. But it was hard. It was really hard to like push out content that I was not inspired by, that I really didn't want to film, I really didn't want to edit. And even as I'm editing it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a crap video, but I need something to put out. So now that my content is a little bit more interesting to me, it's a lot easier to make content and look forward to see how people like the videos, you know? Another thing that I really wanted to accomplish this year on why I even started this YouTube social media journey was because I wanted to see if this was something that I wanted to do full time. And the answer is I do not. And I think that was a really good takeaway and something that I felt like I really met my goal of. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Yeah, I really met my goal of deciding that, like figuring that out. And so I did have a goal of getting monetized. I did have a goal of, well, I technically had a goal of quitting my job when I very much first started this journey, but that was kind of like a side goal. I knew that was like pretty out of reach, and I don't even think that that's something I would want to do anymore. But a really big goal that I had was to figure out, is this something that I would want to do full time? And I've definitely met that goal of figuring that out, and I just really don't think that this life is for me in relying my finances on making content. Part of that is because there's a person sitting behind me and I didn't know she was going to be in the shot, but whatever. Part of that is because I think it's really stressful when you're so unmotivated, and the nature of my content is that it is pretty much tied to my life. Like, I'm not daily vlogging or anything like that, but if I'm having a rough week or if I'm just overwhelmed or I don't know, whatever it might be, if I'm depending on making a video and gritting through and putting my life out there to make money to support my family, that's quite stressful. I don't think that I would want to do that if I didn't have to do that. Obviously, you have to grit your teeth and get through your job, whatever your job is, even when you don't want to go to work. But I think a huge difference between doing social media as your job and then going to work, wherever you work, is that typically your work is not tied to making content about your life. It's not so personally tied to your life. Like, if you're an accountant, you go to work, you crunch numbers, and then you come home, and those numbers have nothing to do with your life. And I think that with social media, that's the hard thing. Like, if Daniel and I got into a fight, or the kids were giving me a hard time, or this thing with my dad is really weighing on me heavily, I would have to like slap on a smile and like make content. And I know that a lot of content can be very real and raw and vulnerable, and I think that's amazing, and I think we need more content like that. But there's also like a balance of not oversharing, and then I don't know. It's just hard to kind of put aside those things when you need a break and you need to compartmentalize, but you can't because your job is tied to your life. So I think some people can do it, and I think that if I had a guarantee that I could bring in money through sponsorships, or if I didn't always have to make content that was tied to my life, if I was big enough that I knew that any type of video that I made would bring in some money for that month or whatever, and it wasn't always so tied to my life, then maybe I would do it. But right now, as a super, super, super small creator, I'm kind of leaning towards not quitting my job because it would be very stressful to have to make content when I really didn't feel like it, and then it was going to be tied to how well I could support my family. So that was another huge goal that I met, and I'm really happy with that. Part of also why I started this year was because I was so tired of wondering if I could have done it, or wondering if I should have done it, or thinking that I missed my chance. Or every year that passed, I was like, if I had started last year, then where would I be now, And technically I started vlogging in like 2018, but then I stopped because of a bunch of random stuff that happened, obviously. There's a part of me that wonders what would have happened if I kept going starting in 2018. But now it's 2024, and I can honestly say that at least I tried in 2024, and I know what it's like now. So no regrets. I think it's another one of those things where I won't have any regrets, and I'll be able to say that I tried. So now if I don't continue on with social media things, which I think I'll always make videos to an extent, I'll be able to say I tried and I'll have no regrets. I think that kind of peace of mind is just so valuable to me. Oh, I didn't even talk about my numbers yet. Okay, so as of Q3, I am recording this on October 10th, so 10 days past when Q3 ended. I'm at 2,172 subscribers on YouTube, 1,104 followers on Instagram, and then TikTok is like non-existent. 73 followers on TikTok. I have not posted a reel or a short in quite some time. I don't even remember the last time I posted. I mean, it must be like 6 weeks or something, like something crazy like that. I have been posting regularly with long form content. And so I don't know, with Instagram, I have to decide what I'm going to do, but I'll leave it open for now, and then, yeah, we'll see how I feel. So overall, quarter three was not successful in the numbers. Like, I didn't gain so many new followers on Instagram or on TikTok, although I did gain more followers on YouTube. But it was a very successful quarter because I met two really big goals, both a very tangible goal of getting monetized and then an intangible goal of figuring out if this is what I want to do full time. So yeah, overall, very successful. I think I'll always keep making videos for fun. It'll be nice when there's no pressure, and then it'll be nice to make some supplemental money. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Okay, the last random thing that I want everybody to know, I don't know if anybody would have made it this far who would care about this, but one reason that I am not able to get paid right now is because when I set up my Google AdSense account to my YouTube account, I filed it as an organization and not as an individual. And I didn't think it mattered. And also, any video that I watched kept talking about how I am a brand and how, this is a business and whatever. I had a lot of reasons that made sense to me of why I clicked business organization versus individual. And it looks like a lot of other people did too, because when I looked into it, everyone had the same problem. And I also didn't think it mattered, but it does matter. When you set up your payment account, they ask for your organization's tax forms, the ones that the IRS sent you. You need like an IEIN number, you need to be registered as an LLC or probably as an S Corp or other things. I don't know. So anyway, the only way to handle it, I think, is to delete my account and then reattach it as an individual. And so I'm prepared to lose all the money that I made this month. You can only change it every 32 days, so I can't even change it yet. But I'm going to do that, and then hopefully the money that I made this month will just live in my account somewhere, and then it'll get paid out to me after I set up my individual account. So if you're a creator watching this on my journey, make sure that you set up your account as an individual after you get monetized, not as a business, unless you really have a business or you're planning to register yourself as a business and have actual tax forms. Noob mistake. Yeah, that's kind of a random thing, but it's stressing me out a little bit. Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to say for the quarter three update. Thanks for following me on this journey. It has been quite a year, as it is every year, and we'll see what happens in quarter four. After that, my 1 year of social media things will be complete, and then we'll see what kind of videos I make next year. All right, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.